Hi everybody, welcome to the video surprise of the day. Today's video surprise on my 2024 Lexus NX 350h. So I'm talking about Advanced Park. So I'm going to do a demo on that, doing parallel parking today. Before we get started, please remember to hit the subscribe button, the bell icon to notify new videos, and I really appreciate that thumbs up. Before we get started, I want to mention the vehicle that I have. I'm going to do a video on. So it's the 2024 Lexus NX 350h. And this one is the luxury edition with the 20-inch wheels as well. And the color is called Atomic Silver. So I have this feature that I purchased with the vehicles called Advanced Park. And what it does is actually help you park your vehicle if you're parking like in the perpendicular spot like I did in the previous video from last week, or parallel park. So there were a lot of questions on parallel parking, so I thought I'd make this video as a follow-up. So I'm going to do parallel parking behind the vehicle, parallel parking between two vehicles, and how to exit a parking space while you parallel park. And lastly, I'm also going to show you one of the blunders that I found out with this Advanced Park as well too. So stay tuned, a lot of information, and hope you enjoy it. First test is parking behind the vehicle over here, and it's pretty easy to do overall, but I do want to do that as the first test. So you look around, all right, see no vehicles before I attempt this, and you hit the P button, then you hit the start button. So it asks you to release the brake, all right. So this feature for the Advanced Park definitely would drive your vehicle forward to position it in the right spot. Then it's going to back up, turn your steering wheel, and park your vehicle. Simple as that. But there's actually a little bit more to it. So I'm going to show you. You see the blue box that's visualized over there? So they're going to park in that spot. So that's the goal, right? So it will back up to a certain point. Then you hear the sensors beeping. Then it's going to turn your steering wheel. Okay, still going backwards. There it goes. Then it asks you to release the brake. Anytime in this process, you actually could hit the brake, just in case somebody jumps in front of you or something like that. Always be handy and ready to hit the brake. So then it's gonna back up again over here. Then it's gonna move forward. It doesn't really accommodate all the space in the back. You notice that it has a set space in the front and back. When it finishes, it gives you an advanced park finish, and it gives you a 360 view, which is awesome. And there you go. So that's how it worked, parking behind the back. I'm going to show you in the walkthrough. So outside now, and not too shabby. It left quite a bit of space in the front, and it didn't scratch the curb or rub the curb. And when it parked, it actually uses the front vehicle as a reference point. So overall, I think it did a great job parking behind vehicle. Of course, parking behind vehicle is pretty easy to do, and people probably do it themselves without any help in particular, right? So on the next test, okay, so on this parking test, we're gonna park between two vehicles. Simple job to do if you're an expert. If not, maybe this tool will help you. So let's find out. So first of all, you have to know the distance between the two vehicles before you want to attempt this thing. So we drive to the spot in particular. Okay, so behind the first vehicle is the sedan. Hit the P button. Then we hit the start. All right. So it asks you to release the brake. And in my case, it drove forward, which is a little bit surprising. I guess you have to angle to the right position before you can park it. Then it starts turning the wheel and backing up. Notice that the square, there's the white square there. That's the goal. That's where it wants to park. All right. Then it'll chime as it back up because there's an object. There's a vehicle going back. Then it's gonna move forward. It turns the steering wheel forward, just like that. Then it's gonna turn the steering wheel the other direction to back up as well. And notice that you do have the option to hit the brake anytime or hold the steering wheel. Definitely, I wouldn't do it unless a pedestrian jumps in the middle or something like that, right? So when you finish, advanced park finished, and it gives you a 360 view just like before, and your vehicle is also in park as well at the same time. So let's get outside the vehicle here and take a look. Okay, so you'll notice the vehicle in the back appears a little bit more out on the street than the curb. And over here, the distance is awesome. There's no problem with the front, no problem with the space in the back, and you have a perfect parking job. You notice that it doesn't really, get too close to the curb as well too. And all two tires over here are in the right direction. Notice that alignment, is pretty much using the reference point with the vehicle in the front. So that's something to note. And the distance between the two vehicles are excellent as well too. And another thing about this parking job is pretty simple because the parking space is very large. In tighter parking space, I assume you're gonna have to turn the wheel a lot more to get to the parking space, and that would be harder to do. So leaving the parking spots is just as easy. Hit the P button again, then it's gonna tell you it's gonna back up and and get out for you. So pretty much you hit the start button to get started. It's gonna back up, then drive out. So let's try this over here. So it's backing up. It's turning the wheel for you. And now you can exit by moving the steering wheel. And after that, a message will come up saying that, definitely want to hit the accelerator or pedal to finish, which I'm going to hit the accelerator. Then it's going to probably show you advanced park is finished. So that's it, how to get out. Okay, so what's not perfect? Well, this test is number 2. So hit the P button, of course, for the advanced park. Also hit the start in this case. So this was my test number 2. I'm posting it to be transparent, so people will know that it's not perfect. So just keep that in mind. But so you also go forward. It brings the vehicle forward to position it. Then the vehicle turns the steering wheel. Right? Turns the steering wheel, heading backwards. Notice the square. The square is pretty close to the curve. You notice that, because the vehicle in front of me is pretty close to the curve in this case. So it's going to turn the steering wheel again, moving forward. And it's also going to turn the steering wheel again the other direction to move backwards. And that worked great. So notice that it's also turning the steering wheel again to move forward. Of course, all the sensors are enabled. It's backing up again. And you got a good view pretty much. This newer technology is definitely way better. And pretty much it's moving forward, backward, forward, backward, forward. It tells you between the distance between the two vehicles. So we ran into a problem. We're going to approach that pretty soon here. Unavailable in current condition all of a sudden. What happened? right? It's not like the distance in the back of the vehicle got too close. It's not that the distance in the front is too far away. So that's fine. There's no problem with that. So let's take a look at the other side. All right, I'm gonna walk to the other side and I'll show you what really transpired. And you know, ordinarily, man, I tried this test a number of times. It got too close to the curve. That's the only thing. And it's probably using the vehicle in the front for reference point. So that's something to note for the Advanced Park. Not perfect. That's the imperfection that I ran into. Hopefully this video helps you out. If you like this video, please help me with a thumbs up, comment to share. Please leave it below. Please remember to subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.